Show, Final Hour Thursday. Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Now, Final Hour Thursday, pretty simple. We head out, D4 Land Services Hotline. It's where most guests join us. They don't live next door. They're down the road. They're at work. They're in Nashville. Who knows? We're joined now on the D4 Land Services Hotline, Rusty Burson. He's an Aggie historian. He's an author. He's a friend of small animals. I mean, he is. He likes animals, too. He joins us on the D4 Land Services Hotline. Rusty, what's going down in your world, dude? Oh, you there, Rusty? Oh, I punched up. This is all me. My first day at work here. What's up, Rusty?
I'm doing well, Lou. How you doing?
I'm in that mood where I know players are practicing, they're talking to the media, and, everything else around you is ramping up. I just know it's here. I know we still got like 2.5, 3 weeks. I don't care. I know the off season's over. The on season is now. And I've got we survived. I have a glow right now. I'm ready to go. Aggie baseball announced they have their 2 fall exhibitions. And I don't even believe in exhibition sports. I don't care. I just feel the fall upon us.
Yeah, and I'm excited about Mbako scoring 57 points in 40 minutes in 3 games.
Thank you for pointing out the minutes, because that's something I've made sure to mention. Because he's the leading scorer in all 3 games, and I don't know if he played more than 14 minutes in a game. I think maybe there were 16 in one. It was just insane. He was out there just man among boys.
Yeah, he's 17 points in 13 minutes in that last game, 3 for 3 from 3-point range. So I didn't get to watch it.
What?
Yeah, I know. I didn't pay for the Flow Sports.
You make Miramont money. You could buy Flow Sports.
Yeah, I did the Flow Sports during baseball season because those were real games, but I just couldn't justify it for exhibition games, like you said, exhibition. So
I respect that. You know that. I don't believe in exhibition sports.
Yeah, and again, if it had been real games that counted, I would have done it. But
fair.
Yeah. So I watched A&M baseball at Arlington. I watched them play UCLA, get beat by UCLA, and I was convinced right then that UCLA was going to win the national championship in baseball, but they didn't. And my early convictions are often wrong.
Oh, UCLA did not make the regional final of their own regional as the number 1 overall seed of the entire baseball tournament.
Yeah, that's how baseball go, right?
That's Ron Washington and Rusty Burson, 2 people that have taught me that more than anyone I know. There's 2 things we've been rambling about today that I wanted you to weigh in on.
Okay.
Number 1, A&M Athletics history. And this is inspired by the Athletic who did tiers. And they current modern A&M, they have on their tier 2, which is big spenders hoping for results. That's the tier. And This is all about the money you spend. I thought A&M spent their whole history pre-SEC actually as mid spenders hoping for results. Joined the SEC, and they're big spenders hoping for results. But I actually think with the current state of the A&M athletic department that they're actually big spenders expecting results.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There for a long time, A&M did not spend the money that was necessary. I loved Wally Groff. He was a great man, but he did think that, marketing was opening the ticket window. I mean, that was his idea of marketing. He was a great accountant. Didn't have the credentials to be an athletic director, and I remember he resisted the 12th Man Foundation. He thought there's no way we should have built the zone, right? He's like, why
the radio station?
No, like the zone at Kyle Field, like the whole end zone complex. You remember before, the horseshoe, so the 12th Man Foundation had this vision to build this end zone complex with suites and a club, and it was adamantly opposed, and the 12th Man just basically said, hey, we're going to do it.
We're going to do it anyway.
We're going to do it. It's our donors' money. We're going to do it. And it turned out to be, the first step in a long process. And then, the facilities arms race, RC was complaining about that a long time. And so when Matt Brown came into Texas, they just went all in, spending money for player facilities, and we were way behind the curve, and that's how Texas passed A&M when Matt Brown first got there, because A&M was reactive instead of being proactive, and RC was begging for that player development center that, eventually came, but it came years after Texas had gotten a head start.
Yeah.
So A&M was not always a big spender. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah. I felt like A&M's whole history, pre-SEC, mid-spender, hoping for results. Joined the SEC with a full commitment and was a big spender hoping. And then what happened, I think, even with the commitment, they didn't realize the depth of spending actually. But once you're all in, you're all in. And the depth of spending has created big spender expecting results.
And I still think they got a long way to go. For example, they need to spend money on a basketball facility. They need there's no doubt. Reed Arena was never a basketball facility. It was a facility, multi-purpose facility that was built without a vision for the future, built without suites, that big blank wall over there, I'm still trying to figure out what that's for. I've been going to games since 1998. I've never figured out that big blank wall up against the side over there.
Indoor tennis facility.
Yeah, but the basketball can be a revenue sport. Men's basketball can definitely be a revenue sport, and I've complained for many, many years that I think that Texas A&M has the worst basketball facility in the state of Texas among the significant schools. You name a school that is significantly, competing in the NCAA in the state of Texas, and their arena is better. TCU, SMU, obviously Texas, obviously Baylor, Texas Tech. It's just A&M has the worst facility among the University of Houston. So that would be my hope, that they would actually sometime invest in a basketball arena.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if I agree with you that A&M basketball can be a revenue sport. I don't know if I've seen enough ever in the history of Aggie basketball to believe that. I don't know. I have trouble grasping onto that as a truth.
Well, I think, during the Billy Gillespie years, several times during Billy Kennedy years, the year they won the SEC championship, that place was full so many times. There was a lot of excitement this last year as Bucky Ball kind of started taking off. I think that if you put the product consistently on the floor and you actually have an arena that fans really are attracted to go to, and maybe it's a little smaller. What Texas has done, what Baylor have done, they've actually made the arenas smaller, but they're so nice. They're, that's where I would hope that A&M would want to go.
The money they'd have to charge people?
Well, I know, but they went up in prices this year, and
yeah, I know.
It's past year, and after a very disappointing season, buzzes last year, and they still sold the season tickets. I still forked it out. I renewed again this year, and so the tickets aren't going to go down. It's like grocery prices aren't going to go down, Lou.
Price of nothing goes down.
Nothing is going to go down.
Okay, in my head, I've always thought that if the only way to get people to be on board is to win, you don't have a fan base. The base of a fan base is there no matter what. And yes, and then you get the bandwagons to fill in the rest. And I've never seen Aggie basketball have enough of a core.
Well, you know what? If you go back and look at the numbers, and this is something that's really interesting because we tend to forget. Back in the Southwest Conference days, A&M football was averaging home games 65,000, right? Maybe, and then TCU you might get 59,000, whatever. It wasn't until the students, the enrollment increased so dramatically, and then now you've got so many more former students than you do, and the demand for these tickets, and then the bigger games, and so I think they're generating more and more former students now than they ever have.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that long ago that A&M was 40,000 students, and now you're twice that big. So you're generating twice as many former students every year as you used to, and those people are going to have the revenue to come back. And I mean, they're going to be successful people, and so many Aggies go out and they're very, very successful. And so I think the future is capable of filling up Reed Arena or filling up whatever arena. There's a lot of people coming back. So what was doesn't necessarily mean what's going to be.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Past history is not indicative of future success.
Right.
I believe in that too. I've just always struggled with Aggie basketball. The whole thing is, if you commit, they will come. But obviously, everyone ever in the history of Aggie Athletics disagrees with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some little, very, very disappointing crowds at games that they needed to get to. So I get where you're coming from, but I think they still can be. They're never going to be Duke. I mean, let's don't kid ourselves. We're never going to be North Carolina. Not even, Texas Tech has so much more basketball history, and what else can they do in Lubbock? They can't go anywhere else, right?
I think Bucky's going to test all this. He's someone you can get behind. He's fun. His teams are fun, and I don't know. He's got a charisma to him.
No, there's no doubt. I don't know the last coach who truly had a charisma like that. I mean, Billy Clyde was a fantastic coach, but he didn't have charisma. He didn't want to talk to anybody. And Buzz didn't want to talk to anybody other than, the media.
No
right
one can understand him.
Exactly.
I'm on a mountaintop with a Sherpa studying the meaning of 2 + 2. Wait, what does that have to do with the free throw percentage?
Right. And Billy Kennedy was a wonderful guy, but, he wasn't very, outspoken, and he was, sick. I mean, there was issues health-wise, and I absolutely love Billy Kennedy, but he was not that personality to get behind, and Bucky is. And, the last kind of personality in A&M basketball that I really enjoyed being around, Shelby Metcalf.
Okay, that was the only name that popped up as you were going through this. The last personality that charisma drew people in. It wasn't what system of offense do they run during the game? And Bucky Ball has that too. I'm not throwing that out the window, but I'm talking about the coach himself.
Yeah. And who knows?
Whoa. Gary Blair, but that's not men's basketball. We're talking about men's basketball.
Right. I'm talking about men's basketball. And so, Melvin didn't have that. Tony Barone certainly didn't have that.
I loved when Barone's jacket came off.
Well, it came off early, and he started sweating pasta, about 10 minutes into the game. But, yeah, Shelby was just, he was a people person, and who knows, what would have happened if they had beaten Louisville in 1980, because Louisville went on to win the national championship, and who knows how A&M basketball would have benefited, and maybe it wouldn't have been dramatically different even if A&M won a national championship, but that team certainly came close.
Was that DeWare Fieldhouse in 1980?
No, that was actually G. Raleigh, and, but they played Louisville in Houston, and it was a horrific charge call, it was actually, I guess it was a blocking call against A&M that cost A&M, it was like a 5-point swing in a very, very close game, but that team easily could have won the national championship. That team beat North Carolina up in Denton, and again, came so close to beating Louisville in the Sweet 16. Man, who knows what could have happened.
I know that A&M Athletics has been burnt by jumping in too early on a coach. Look at Aggie football history, right? But if they want to make the same mistake again with Bucky, I say please do.
Yeah, I am too.
Just give him what he wants. Just Logan Lee has joined me a couple of times, last week, this week. And they had a revelation that made me shake my head. But the Texas basketball NIL is double A&M's.
Say that again?
The Texas basketball NIL is double A&M's.
Okay, yeah.
And A&M stepped up. A&M's NIL is not chicken feed right now. But
right.
Texas went all in. Well, give Bucky what he needs. Let's give him the chance to compete on all levels, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Like I've told you before, this is the first time, I don't know, maybe. I'm trying to think of another time where I felt so good about all three men's coaches in the three primary sports.
I'll tell you, because I think everyone bought into this, but come on, when you had Jimbo with Buzz.
Early Jimbo, early Buzz.
With
early Schloss.
That's his name again, yeah.
Yeah. Schleimnagel.
Because Schloss, year one, went to the College World Series, right? Jimbo had a national championship ring, and Buzz was one of the brightest basketball minds at the time.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that you're probably right. It didn't take long to kind of see through Buzz and Jimbo, and Schloss was obviously a fantastic coach. But I just feel really good about the staff that Early has put together. I love the staff that Bucky put together, and obviously Elko he's the real deal. And, just sure as hope that he can build on the success he had last year because, the guy is genuine. He's real. He's authentic. It's a real program. There's no smoke and mirrors over there. I just admire what he's doing.
I'm with you, brother. Hey, quick timeout. Come back. I have another things we've been talking about today that I can't wait to throw at you, brother.
All right. Sounds good.
Rusty Burson on the D4 Land Services hotline. And, well, what do they do at D4 Land Services? Well, we don't know what a D4 is, but land services. You need your land fixed up, land cleared, land excavated. Website time. D4landservices.com. D4landservices.com. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Thursday on the Zone.
Make sure to get the podcast of TexAgs Live, the Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard Sports Talk Daily at zone1150.com and everywhere you get your podcasts.
The Louie Bellina Show presented by CC Electric. They do free estimates. They have military and veteran discounts. They are CC Electric. We head back out. D4 Land Services hotline. Why? Because we want to hang out with Rusty Burson, Aggie historian and author. Hey, Rusty, I got a text message for you.
All right.
It's from Bill. Don't know his last name because he didn't put it. And he just simply says, if you build it, they will come. And he also said, love the show. Wow, he must be listening to something else. But anyway, we'll take it.
I like it, Bill.
So here was the other thing. I don't do topics of the day. Sometimes they pop up that way, but it was ESPN.com did their top 10 villains of all time college football.
Oh.
And I'll give you a vibe here. I'll help you understand. Like number 5 was the 1990 University of Miami football team. Number 4 was the Boz. Number 1, Steve Spurrier. Number 2, Lane Kiffin.
Number 2, really?
Yeah, I'd had him higher. Number 1, right?
Wow.
And number 3 was Johnny Manziel.
Wow. That's weird.
It's odd. I will say this. I thought Steve Spurrier was a troll. I think Lane Kiffin is serious. I have them as two completely different types of villain. Steve Spurrier was having fun, living his best life. Lane Kiffin's serious. He tried to hold Ole Miss hostage. And Steve Spurrier just wanted to poke fun at people and maybe try and get a mental advantage in what he did, whereas Lane Kiffin's delusional as hell.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was a big fan of the Boz, too. Quite frankly, that Miami team that came in and destroyed Texas, I love that team. The team that played in the Cotton Bowl,
yep.
I was a big fan of.
They got off the plane in fatigues, right?
Yeah,
or was that a different Cotton Bowl?
I was a big fan of humiliating Texas, so still am. I remember that Miami team very, very well. I'm trying to think of like some of those Miami teams were filled with some just taunting. They were just. But I kind of liked it all.
We'd never seen anything like it when they came along. Right. There was nothing like them at all, I believe, prior to. And maybe even since. Not at that level.
I love that ESPN 30 for 30, the Catholics versus the Convicts.
Yep.
That was like one of my favorites. I heard you and somebody talking about 30 for 30.
Joe Sheehan.
Okay. So, yeah, I love those 30 for 30 shows. I think my favorite one ever is the Pony Excess because, I lived in Dallas-Fort Worth during that time period, and I just saw the way the Dallas Morning News and the Times-Herald and Channel 8 just went after them. And, the funny thing about that is that they had gone after a reporter for Channel 8 back then was a guy named Jerry Orr. And Jerry Orr came down to College Station. I want to say this is like 85-ish. And he arranged an interview with Kevin Murray. And he is outside Kane Hall, and he purposely was like lined up in front of a car that he was convinced that some A&M fan had given to Kevin Murray. And it was like, I think, back then I think those things were definitely going on. But he had the wrong car. And so they checked into it, they checked the registration, and it was not Kevin Murray's car. I'm not saying that Kevin didn't have a free car, I'm just saying that was not his. And so the next year, when they went after SMU, they had all their I's dotted and the T's crossed. They had done so much more homework on SMU than they did at Texas A&M. And, of course, SMU was in their backyard. And it was all three of those outlets, Dallas Morning News, Dallas Times-Herald, and WFAA Channel 8. They were all zeroed in on SMU, and it was fascinating to watch. And so I think one of the villains I would think of was the SMU in those days, and how even the governor of the state of Texas was okaying payments to SMU players.
Yes.
I'm surprised they didn't make the list.
I'll tell you what, I had someone text in when we talked about it earlier who said Eric Dickerson because he kept the car.
Well, yeah, A&M definitely gave him that car. There's no doubt. There is absolutely no doubt. And he drove right to Dallas with that A&M car. So,
do you think Johnny Manziel deserves 3? Because
No.
I remember back, and there was nothing villainous. He was a college kid leading his best life. We could talk about things post A&M, but that doesn't tie into being a college football villain whatsoever.
Yeah, I remember the Scooby-Doo costume with the the Halloween photos that were appearing all over.
Who doesn't?
He was living his best life. That's all I can tell you, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That just doesn't fit for me. They put him in front of an entire University of Miami football team. Think about that, by the way.
Yeah, 3. Come on, man. I think Johnny was just so captivating, and for most people, I think he was must-watch TV. Even if you didn't like it, and I can't remember the guy, the really good defender at LSU, who after A&M beat Alabama, they interviewed this defender, and he's just raving about, that's Johnny Football. That's Johnny Football.
There you go.
And again, it was just like, here's a guy who'd played against him, and it was just, he loved him, and it was just like, Johnny was captivating, and I guess you either loved him or you loathed him, I suppose, but he was our guy here.
Opposing players loved him.
Yeah.
He captured the nation. He wasn't just an A&M fascination. He transcended just A&M and the SEC.
Yeah, and the little things he did, the money symbols that he would do. And
Money Manziel.
Yeah, it just, those little things were, yeah. But I'll never forget, walking out on Times Square right after Johnny won the Heisman and just seeing, him on billboards and him on the ticker tape stuff in Times Square. It was just like, man, this is larger than life. This is Texas A&M getting publicity like I could never imagine. And I was fortunate to be with that traveling party when he won the Heisman, and then 2 days earlier when he was down in Florida for the College Football Awards. And those were just epic times. I mean, about A&M, and everybody wanted to see Johnny. Everybody wanted to interview Johnny. He was just the star of the show, and he was fantastic. You know, when he won the Davy O'Brien, and I happened to be next to him once he won it, and after he'd come back from the stage, he came back, and all these media were around him, and he gave me the trophy. He said, "Can you hold this?" So here I was holding the Davy O'Brien trophy while he's been interviewed, and I was like, "Hey, Gabe, get a picture of this." So Gabe Bach. So anyway,
Count Bocula.
Yeah, those are fun times.
And do you remember A&M doing absolutely nothing with all of that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, those were great times, and I even remember the what was it, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, or that was
the next year against Duke.
Yeah.
And Johnny going into the locker room, and I don't know everything he said, but I know he said it.
Yeah, we were riding up the elevator with some Duke fans, and my son was trying to be, nice to him after they'd watched this unbelievable comeback, and my son said to him, like, "At least you got basketball to look forward to." And the guy goes, "Shut up."
Oh, that's good. That's where you give credit where it's due. Good line by your boy. Nice answer by the Duke fan. It worked both ways, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So, there's so many memories I have of him. I don't think he's a villain at all. I just
no, I don't. And I'm trying. I said this earlier. I don't think I'm doing the maroon Kool-Aid thing. I don't. And you know me. I kind of call it as it is. I'm not this pro A&M or anti A&M, and I don't think I'm being protective of the maroon and white. I never saw it as villainy.
Well, the only perspective I would see him as a villain is if I was a Cleveland Browns fan.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like what happened after here, this is college football villain list.
Yeah, I mean, he was a villain to
people that spent money to employ him.
Right. I mean, never opened the playbook. Come on. I mean, and he was out of control. Hopefully he's not that way anymore, but there for a while he was totally out of control. Who knows how good he could have been in the NFL. But, the partying was more important to him than anything else, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that other things interfered with his potential.
Yeah, because he was unreal on the field.
But he could fight in the cage, whatever.
But you know what? I mean, the night and day difference between him and his teammate, right? Evans. I mean, look at look at the career. And I'm not saying that Johnny had the same talent as Mike Evans, but look at what Mike Evans has done with his chance, right? I mean, that guy's a Hall of Famer. What he's done in the NFL, and by the way, what he's done off the field is every bit as impressive. I mean, the guy is genuine. He's a hero.
You remember all the talk before the draft, and you had two camps on Johnny Manziel. He's a scrambling quarterback, cannot throw. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's not even in the top 3 rounds, let alone a first-round pick. And those that are like, you're the moron, I mean, just look at him. He's a first round. He should be in the top 10 picks. There were just two camps on him. And I was in the camp of you're a moron.
Right.
He's obviously a top 10 pick. And then he does what he does, and he makes me look like a moron.
Well, yeah. I was really hoping the Cowboys would pick him. I mean, they had a chance.
Well, remember Jerry Jones wanted to. He told the story. He was going to pick him, but Steven stopped him.
Exactly. And, in hindsight, good for Steven. But, I mean, not that we would have done anything to the Cowboys. They wouldn't have won anyway. But
nothing would change in Cowboys history if they took him or not.
No.
Who was the Georgia quarterback they took?
Oh, my gosh. I cannot remember, but That
was disaster.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about all the Heisman winners who didn't work out in the NFL. I mean, there's just so many of them, right?
But most are lack of talent or something, not self-destruction necessarily,
right.
Other than, Jameis Winston, who's made the heck of a comeback in his life.
No, he's made the comeback. I mean, but
no, Jamarcus Russell. I apologize. Jamarcus Russell, who I'm thinking of.
Okay. But, I mean, I thought Andre Ware was going to be a great quarterback, right, in the NFL, and he never really panned out. I mean,
but he's the best announcer ever.
He's good. Yeah, he's really good. I like him as an announcer. Tim Tebow was, a pretty mediocre NFL quarterback, even though he's a fantastic college quarterback. Jason White, Matt Leinart, just top of my head there. But, Johnny may have been he may have been the cream of the crop in terms of guys who just failed immediately.
Most funnest quarterback I've ever watched in my college football days.
No, yeah, I totally agree.
Rusty, go be awesome. Thank you always, dude. And hey, we're 1 week closer to opening day, huh? 1 week. We didn't even get to talk about the Astros and the Rangers. Dang it.
Thank God.
My team wait a minute. You're tied for the wild card spot. What do you mean, my God? I mean, you have we've already taken the boot and got swept by the Astros, but
I was there for 2 of those games.
I was there Saturday. I have my Altuve bobblehead doll. I'm there.
Yeah, I gave my bobbleheads to kids around me. Sunday there was a hat giveaway, and there's these 2 little kids, and they didn't get a hat, and so I made their day. They were very appreciative.
Quincy Carter,
Quincy Carter, yeah. Yes, thank you.
iDoc Mike 98 texted that in. Quincy Carter.
Quincy Carter, yes. Oh man, they've been some dandies there, right?
Well, again, the second he was picked, everyone looked around and went,
huh?
What? Really?
What?
He'll make a great wide receiver for the Cowboys. Take it easy, brother. Be good.
See you, buddy.
Later. Quincy Carter. Rusty Burson on the D4 Land Services hotline. Aggie historian and author. Man, if you ever need forestry, mulching, pond construction, d4landservices.com. They do more. They do custom metal buildings from the ground up. Check out everything they do at d4landservices.com. I'll be right back. Another Aggie football player listening. This is the Louie Bellina Show on the Zone.
Activate. Spend your Aggie football Saturdays, starting with the game day show, to the game, to the call-in show, and only on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
The Louie Bellina Show. The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Residential, commercial, industrial services. It is how they do. It is what they do at CC Electric. All day long, every hour, we've been listening into the Aggie football players from fall camp. Time now, DJ Hicks.
First day of practice, just what was the vibe and the feeling out there today?
I feel like it was a okay day. We got a lot of things to improve, but that always happens on the first day, So, yeah, that's just how I feel about it today, really. So, yeah.
DJ, you kind of drenched. Was it that kind of practice?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Coach Elko will demand a lot from us, so you just got to go out there and give it your all. And I feel like everybody's going to leave overly drenched if you go hard. So.
What was the highlight from today's practice in your mind, something that stuck out to you?
I think one of the highlights today is just seeing everybody push through to end the practice. I feel like, especially in the D-line room, we had a lot of guys push through, and sometimes that can be hard the first day of practice. So I feel like that was one of the biggest highlights today, for sure.
How hard is day one, right? You've had multiple day ones now. Is there jitters? Is there a little bit of rust coming off? How would you describe that?
It's definitely jitters. Coming into something that you really care about, you're always going to be a little nervous, So I feel like it was a little bit of jitters, a little bit of everything. But the first play, once you get that first play done, it just turns into playing football again. So.
Was there a point during today where those nervous jitters started to kind of dissipate a little bit?
Oh, yeah. That first play. That's from every time for me, I get real nervous. I'm a real nervous type of guy. But after the first play, I get the first little pads hit, I'm good. So.
I know it's just been short, but what has been like going against this offensive line and some of those new guys that?
Oh yeah, we got a really talented offensive line. They're gonna make us all better, just like we're gonna make them better. We got dudes like Trayvon and Cohen, all these newer guys that came in, and they're really good players. So just playing against them every day, going against Mark Nabu and dudes like that every day is no way I can get better, no way they're not gonna get better. So.
What do you think could be the idea to get this defensive line with the big pieces it has and help guys so bad?
it's all a brotherhood, you know. We always try to stick together, you know. We always hang out together. We always got each other back, and I feel like that's really been our motto this year, is just sticking together through anything. And if we stay together, we can get through anything at any time. So.
DJ, what is it like for you? You're the old guy on the line.
Yeah.
You're the longest, and just taking that role of a senior guy.
Man, it's so real. To think this is my last fall camp, probably, just to really sit back and think about that, man, it's just so real. I'm just taking in the moment, trying to be a leader as much as I can right now. So, yes, sir.
What's the competition been like among the defensive tackles in particular throughout the offseason coming into this preseason part?
Man, I feel like all those guys make me better, like, every day, you know. It's never, we got so many talented dudes that you can never relax in that room, you know. So I just feel like having dudes like Angelo McCullough, Landon Rink, DJ Sanders, CJ Mims, shoot, the list goes on. Like, having dudes like that, man, you can't never relax, and it just makes you a better player and a better, you know, better person. So.
When you're three under Mark Elko, kind of what's been the message and what's kind of been the theme of this year's team?
I feel like our biggest message, has just been like just to finish, you know. We've had 2 years in a row where we feel like we haven't really done that yet. So I think our biggest thing this year is probably just to finish and go hard every single play, you know. So.
Playing behind Albert and Tyler last year, what were kind of the biggest things you learned from two guys you got drafted?
Yep.
What do you think you could apply from what you learned?
T.O., I learned a lot from T.O. I learned his get off. He always tried to get off the ball. He always tell me, just rush the passer every play, you'll be all right. So just his get off and following him, and then learn from Big Al. Some of the things that Albert can do, I can't really do because he's such a strong guy, you know. But I've learned so much from him, just his leadership and the way he took care of himself. He took care of his business every day, and that's basically the two things I've tried to implement from both of their games.
What were some of the main things that you sought to work on this offseason to take a step in your game, and just how you felt like you progressed in those areas?
I feel like my biggest thing was I wanted to come in and give myself the best opportunity by being in shape and coming in and getting my body right and getting my mind right. And I think the biggest things I've had to focus on is my ball get off and getting off the rock. In the past years, I feel like I wasn't doing that as well. So those are the biggest focus key points for me this year.
I want to ask a little bit about some younger guys in the position group. You talked about Landry, DJ Sanders, guys like Bryce Perry-Wright. How do you feel like those guys are transitioning in the program and developing?
They're transitioning really well. They're doing everything that you can ask from them. You know, they work really hard. They play really hard. You know, they come in every single day trying to learn and soak up everything, you know, and they listen very well. So they've done everything that you would want from younger guys in the room.
What does Angelo in specific bring to the table, and just how you feel like he in particular fit into this D-line so far?
Angelo is a kid that, like a dude that you can definitely tell loves the game of football. He always wants to be better, and he always wants to learn, you know. And he brings in this type of tenacity, this type of violence about him that we really need in the room, you know. And he's going to be really special. I feel like he's going to do a lot of great things here.
DJ, what was it like for you first few years, kind of being more in that backup role, and then now going to potentially the starting role? What's it been like kind of waiting your time after being such a highly rated recruit, and now this is kind of your time?
It's been a little hard at first, but you know, you got to run your race. Older I got, the more I noticed everybody can't be 3 and done, you know. Not everybody's meant to start right away, you know. You just got to run your race and take your time, and with time and with learning, you will become what you want to be. So.
What kept you from being too impatient, wanting to go somewhere else, or wanting to push, you know?
My two biggest things is that I just love this place. I love being here. I love being an Aggie. So it's really hard for me to want to leave, and also my coaching staff and playing for Coach Elko and how they believe in me and how they've developed me into a better man and as well as a better player. It's so hard to just want to leave this place. I really believe in the stuff that we can do here.
Is there something extra fun about this first couple of days? We all practicing at night. You don't have school. It kind of feels a little bit more like a pro camp or something like that.
A little bit, you know. We're not there yet. We're not at the level of the pros, you know. But it does feel like we can just go out here and just focus on ball. You know that's what we like to do. So I feel like that's just how it feels to me. Is that we can just play football, do what we love to do.
You mentioned the offensive line earlier. I'm curious about Mark in specific, just what he's meant for maybe bridging the gap with the new guys that they've had on that offensive line, and just where you've seen him grow in his game this offseason.
Yeah, he's a really good leader, older guy. You know, a lot of those dudes in that room, the younger guys, I could tell they look at him, you know, because he has been a veteran in that room. And like I said, Mark pushes me to even be better every day. You know, he's grown so much into a better player. So, yeah, I just try to go at him, and he just try to go at me every day. So
that was DJ Hicks, and that kind of wraps up for today. We're going to do fall camp in their words. Who's they? Mike Oko. Next Tuesday, we'll be live at 11:30 with Wiggins and Hemphill. The coordinators are going to speak, but the players too. We do fall camp in their words. We do the listen-ins all August long. And that was DJ Hicks. Earlier was Ruben Owens. And earlier, we kicked it all off at 11:35 with Micah Riley. When we return, up next, bye-bye. We're done with Thursday. This is the Louie Bellina Show. I sit inside the Charles Schwab studio. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients, and that can be you, by offering personalized guidance and clarity. And it's personalized because we have Mark Sim right here in College Station. You're not doing phone centers, call centers, phone trees. You're not calling someone in New York and LA who couldn't find College Station with a map. Mark Sim's right here in College Station. Go get answers to your questions. Just go learn more at schwab.com/College Station.
Be in the know about the Louie Bellina Show.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
Follow at LouieB1150. That's at LouieB1150.
Follow us on Twitter.